the lunar calendar. Space, gypsy bodega. Alright, you've reached Space Gypsy Bodega, and it's no mistake. Here we are. This is still part of our Happy Holiday series, and we talk about a lot of things, as many things as we can for this. So one thing that we don't talk a lot about is the moon. And the moon is the other half of what we are, if this is our brain here, and this is the right hemisphere, and this is the left, the sun and moon are doing this sort of figure 8, electromagnetic pull and push back and forth. This middle line here, this equinox, this equal point, is our equilibrium. It's right where the hypothalamus gland is, in between the two hemispheres. So that's when every time you see a beetle, that's what we're talking about here. It's a beetle is the skull, the brain. And you get the one hemisphere here, you have another hemisphere here, and then the front part here. Anyways, what we have here, though, is this moon calendar. That's this device right here. It's a really neat device. It's found in King Tut's chamber, and I'm going to go and describe, the different elements of this device, and we'll get into it. We'll also talk about how this is the brain too, okay? How this here is the brain, and your brain's affected by the moon and the sun's interaction, electromagnetic fields changing. So, let's get into it here. This right here, we'll start with the main feature, is this beetle. And this beetle is, like we were saying, the brain. And this side of the brain, this wing, is the right hemisphere, and this wing here is the left hemisphere. And you can see how the left hemisphere is the sun. It's logical, it's survival, it's the sort of nervous system that has you survive. The part of the brain that operates that has you survive in flight or fight or flight qualities. And this right side here is the creative, the spiritual, the more psychic, dreaming happens here. Dreaming and all your mystical experiences and all your times when you're creative, and your fight or flight activities happen here in this hemisphere. So if we look at this, that's the brain. Now, let's look at this area up here now, this whole area, as the horizon, the eastern horizon, So, when you look due east, you'll see the sun coming up. On a certain day, due east. In this case, the sun, and you can see it on the equinox of March 21st or September 21st. You'd see the sun come due east, and then as it moved towards the south, as it moved towards December, the sun would move a little on the south, on the horizon. South. So this is a horizon line right here. Okay. See if we can get that. There we go. And let's show you the items here that we're trying to. So this is our horizon line. This little symbol here is the symbol for horizon. It's a flat, curvy symbol. And these two ankhs here, they're laying sideways. There's ankhs always mean stars or constellations. So it's saying the stars that come up on the horizon. Pay attention to the constellations coming up on the horizon in the east. And this is where the sun and moon come up. And sometimes at the moon, and for the sun's situation, in December 21st is the most southerly point of the sun's journey, and you see the sun rise on the horizon, and then on the north, it goes towards the north as we get towards summer, June 21st. So here we have, this is the horizon line. These are the furthest points the sun goes. Lowest point down it would be in the solstice. Same for the moon. Its winter solstice is its lowest point in the sky. And as the moon moves, the sun goes 1 year. The moon has to do 9 years to get to its summer solstice point, its highest point in the air. So that's what this snake here represents. So the highest point, and that's the most southerly point, the lowest point it falls in the sky. And this point in the middle here, marked by this little peg right here, this little stick underneath the beetle, is the equinox points, the spring and fall equinox for the sun, but it's also the spring and fall equinox for the moon in that 18-year cycle. So within this 18 years, dead mid like 9 years in would be an equinox points for the moon, and for the sun it would be only 6 months between equinox points for the sun. So I just want to see how that maps on, and you can see how that fits nature. And these symbols here represent the horizon and what to be looking for in nature. Now, in the next video we're going to talk about the brain and how this all now maps onto the brain, and how you can navigate through the brain waves.